So to get started on the dress, we're going to grab our category 3 yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 4mm hook, and we're going to measure out on top of our chest and how much we need it to cover, and mine is going to be a total of 11 inches. So go ahead and make that chain. Once we have our chain, we're going to block off that last chain, chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet, and we're going to double crochet once into that chain that we blocked off, or the 4th loop from the hook. And from here we're going to put 1 double crochet all the way back down our chain. So we have our first row of double crochet, and we're going to do more rows of double crochet. So we're going to chain up 3, flip our work, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to put 1 double crochet into every loop that we have going all the way back down. Once we get to the end, chain up 3, and then do more rows of double crochet. And we're going to keep doing this until we get right above our waist. And so I'm going to have a solid double crochet block of 7 inches. So once we're done with our 7 inches, just kidding. This is a little cheat. I already made most of my dress yesterday, but this is my 7 inches that I have right here. And from here, we're just going to do an increase until we get right above our lower back. And then that's where the dress is going to start in the back because it's open back. But from here, we're going to do a set of double crochets with increases on the end. So we're going to pretend that this is our first set of 7 inches, like where the body is. And then now we're going to start expanding where the waist is. So we're going to chain up 3, if it can let me 3, flip our work. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet into the same loop that we're currently in. And from here, we're going to double crochet once into every loop that we have until we get to the end. We're going to do an increase, and I'll show you how to do that once we get there. And let me know how you guys feel about me doing this type of video where I do most of it off camera and I try to explain it in a much smaller format. Well, I'm doing that because we would be sitting here for God knows how many hours if I didn't. But if you guys really enjoy seeing me do the whole thing and it's easier for you guys to envision, let me know in the comments. I can definitely go back to that. That is NBD. And we have 1 more loop left to do, and we're just going to do another increase. So we're going to prepare for a double crochet and double crochet twice into that last loop. And we're going to keep doing this pattern where we increase on the sides until we get to our lower back. I'm going to do this until I have the increased sides of 4.5 inches. So just as a refresher, we're going to chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet once into the same loop that we're in, and put 1 double crochet into every loop that we have, doing an increase at the end. So this is where we're at. From top to the base, I have 11.5 inches, and this right here is our 11.5 inches. And then from here, we're going to be working on the skirt portion. So we're going to measure the base of what we have, plus measure out the widest part of our hips, and then whatever that number is, we're going to subtract those two. And then whatever that number is, we're going to make a chain that's that long. And thank you for attending today's math class. If it doesn't make sense, I get it. I'm not the best at explaining things sometimes. If you don't understand, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. But if you do, go ahead and make that chain. And from here, we're just going to pretend to make that chain really quick. So say this is the chain that you need. All we're going to do is connect it to the other side with a slip stitch. And then from here, we're going to chain up 3 and do rows of double crochet. But before we get started on that, I will say that we're going to go back the opposite way that we came, just so that we can continue on with this pattern, because otherwise these will have one certain pattern, and then if we just keep going around in a circle, this will look a little bit different. But from here, we chained up 3, we're going to flip our work and then work back down this way because we just came from this direction. And then we're going to keep doing that, making sure that we go back the way that we came, and then keep going until you get to where you want the tip of the slit to be. And I did this for 6 inches. So we put that little guy away, and now we have this bigger guy that I've been showing you. And from here, this is the 7 inches of solid double crochet that we did. This is the 4.5 inches of increase that we did. And then this is the 6 inches that goes all the way around. And then in total, we have roughly 17.5 inches. And then from here, we're going to want to lay our work down flat or try it on, whichever way you guys want to do it. And then we're going to indicate where we want our slit to start. And I have mine marked off right here. And then we're going to need to keep in mind which way we just came for the last row of double crochet, and I went in this direction. So for the next row, I'm going to need to go in this direction. And so from here, we're going to need to work from where our marker is. So we're going to see where our marker is, and then we're actually going to count out 3. 1, 2, 3 loops. Insert our hook. We are going to take our yarn, make a slip knot, insert it onto our hook. And then from here, we're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. And then we're going to put 1 double crochet into every loop that we have going all the way around. And then we're going to stop 3 loops right before we get to our marker with our double crochet. So we've made it all the way around, and like I said, we didn't go all the way to the marker. We left 3 loops, so as you can see, this is our marker. We counted out 3, so here's 1, 2, 3 going this way, and then counted 1, 2, 3 going this way. And then from here, we're going to take out this middle mark, and then we're going to chain 1, and we're going to be doing a fan. So we're going to be doing 7 double crochet into this middle loop, and from here, we're going to chain 1 into our chain 3 that we did. We count out 1, 2, 3 chains, insert it with a slip stitch. And from here, we're going to chain up 1, flip our work, and then we're going to do 1 slip stitch into that chain, the one that we did in between our fan and our row of double crochet, just so we can get closer to the fan. So 1 slip stitch, and from here, we're going to chain up 4. And the first 3 count as a double crochet. From here, we're going to prepare for a double crochet. And we're going to put 1 double crochet into every loop into the fan that we have with a chain 1 in between. So here is 1 double crochet, chain 1, prepare for a double crochet, and go into the next loop. And we're going to keep doing this until we get to the end of the fan. And then once we have that, this is what it should look like. And from here, we're going to chain up 1, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to count out 3 loops, not including that first chain that we have in between this double crochet and our fan. So not counting this, we're going to count out 1, 2, 3, and then insert our hook into that 3rd loop that we have. And from here, we're going to put double crochets once into every loop going all the way around, and then we're going to connect it to this side, but I'll show you how to do that once when we get there. So we went ahead and double crocheted all the way around, and now we need to connect it to this little fan extension that we have. So from here, I went ahead and double crocheted until I had 2 loops left, not counting the chain, just like how we did on this side. And then from here, all we're going to do is connect it with a slip stitch. So we're going to count up this chain 4 that we did. We're going to count up 3, 1, 2, 3, insert our hook into that 3rd loop, connect with a slip stitch. And then once we've connected it with a slip stitch, we're going to be working our way back this way. So from here, we're going to chain up 1, flip our work, and we're going to need to get into the 3rd loop from the hook, and how we do that is do 3 slip stitches. So into the next loop with 1 slip stitch, into the next one with another, and we're into the 3rd. And then from here, we're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. Go ahead and double crochet once into every loop that we have, going all the way back around. And then right before we hit the fan, we're going to leave 3 empty loops because we're about to do the pattern once when we get there as well. So once we've double crocheted all the way around, now we're going to need to do more fans into this fan extension. So we're going to chain 2, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to double crochet in between the 2nd and 3rd double crochet that we have into the fan extension. We're going to do 4 double crochets into that loop. And once we have that, we're going to chain another 2. And then if you look at the other end of the fan, we're going to go into the gap that's in between the 2nd and 3rd double crochet on this end with 4 double crochet again. And once we have that, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into this chain 3 that we did on this other side. And then once we get here, remember we're still working the opposite way that we came, so we're going to need to slip stitch all the way until we get into the middle of this gap. So just chain 1, flip our work, and then put 1 slip stitch into every loop that we have until we get to the middle. Once we're at the middle of this gap, we do need to do 1 single crochet into this first double crochet into this mini fan that we have. And then from here, we're going to do the same fan extensions that we did earlier. So we're going to chain up 4. The first 3 count as a double crochet, prepare for a double crochet, and put 1 double crochet into every double crochet that we have in the fan with a chain 1 in between. And then once we have this, we're going to chain 2, And then we're going to prepare for a double crochet, and we're going to count out 4 loops from where we're currently at, including the chain this time. So we're going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, insert your hook with a double crochet. And then we're going to keep doing double crochets all the way around, and then we're going to stop once we get to the same spot but on the other side. So we went ahead and double crocheted all the way around, and we left 4 loops, so these 2 double crochet and these 2 chain that we have right next to it. And from here we're going to do another fan extension just like how we did on this side. So we're going to chain 2, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to go into this first double crochet that we have with a double crochet, chain up 1, and then put a double crochet once into every loop that we have with a chain 1 in between. And once we have this fan extension, we're going to start working back the way that we came. So this is where the slit is going to start. So from here we're going to chain up 3, flip our work, and then from here we're going to do another double crochet into this first gap that we have. We're going to chain 2 and then put 2 more double crochet into the same gap that we're in. So now we're doing shells. So just as a recap, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet all into the same loop, chain 2, and we're going to do the same shell into this last gap that we have. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And once we have our 2 shells, we're going to chain 2, prepare for a double crochet. We're going to skip these 2 chains that we have and also skip the next 2 double crochet that we have. And then we're going to double crochet into that 5th loop that we have from the hook. And from here, go ahead and double crochet once into every loop that we have. And then we're going to stop in the same spot that we did on this side. So once we made it all the way around, I left the 4 gaps just like how we did on the other side. So these 2 double crochet plus these 2 chains that we did in between the fan extension and the double crochet portion. And from here, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to leave a chain of 2, prepare for a double crochet, go into this first gap into the fan extension with a shell. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And once we get here, we're going to do another chain 2, prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to do another shell into this last gap that we have. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And this is what we should have so far. From here, the rest is going to be all the same pattern. So we're just going to chain up 3. This helps us get to the next row, flip our work. And then we're going to do another shell into this shell that we just did. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into this gap. And then once we are here, we're going to do another chain 2, you guys guessed it, another shell into this second shell, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And then this is our last shell, chain 2, prepare for a double crochet, skip 4 loops. So we're counting these chains, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Go into that 5th loop with a double crochet. We're going to keep doing the same pattern until you get the length that you want, minus roughly an inch or half an inch, because we are going to do a row of shells along the very bottom. So this is what we have so far for our slit, and counting from right where the slit separates, we have a little over 3 inches. And like I said, we're going to do another row of shell that goes all the way around. So in order to do that, we're going to need to get into the middle of this first shell. So we're just going to do slip stitches into the loops until we get to the middle. Yeah, like that. And then from here, we're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet. We're going to do another shell into the middle of this shell. So since this chain up 3 counts as a double crochet, we're going to do 1 more double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 more double crochet into the same loop. So once we have our first shell, we're going to do another chain 2. We're going to do another shell into the next shell that we have. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Once we have our 2 shells into our previous 2 shells, we are going to chain 2. We're going to prepare for another shell, and then we're going to skip the next 4 loops. So basically the same way that we've been going into the last rows. So once we're here, we're going to prepare for a double crochet, count out 4 loops, insert our hook into that 5th loop, and we're going to do another shell. And then from here, going all the way back around, we're going to chain 2, count out 5 loops, 1, 2, 3, 4, insert your hook into that 5th with a shell. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into the same loop. And then once we have this, chain 2, count out another 5, and we're going to keep doing this all the way around. So this is what we have. We got one row of shells going around the entire bottom, and you guys can make as many rows of shells as you want, but I'm just going to do one more, and then doesn't matter how many rows you do, this is how you're going to do the last one. So we're going to chain up one, flip our work, we're going to slip stitch into the middle of this shell, and then once we get to the middle of the shell, we're going to do one single crochet, and then we're going to chain up 3. This counts as a double crochet, and then we're going to prepare for a double crochet, and we're not going to do anything into this first shell. We're going to reach all the way over into the next shell and then do more shells. And then this is just a way to get it to taper in a little bit for the very last one that we're doing. And from here, we're just going to continue doing shells with a chain 2 in between everything. And then I'll show you what to do when we get to the other side. So we've done our second row of shells all the way around, and the last thing that we have to do is do one double crochet into this last shell to match the beginning of it. And then this is what we have. So from here, go ahead and chain up 1 and cut. So just to show you guys, this is what the front slit is looking like. Just from where the skirt starts, so the part that wraps around your entire body, all the way down to where the double crochets end right here. This is 11 inches. And then in total, from same part where it starts, all the way to the bottom underneath the shells, we have a total of 13 inches. And then from here, we're going to work on the sides. As you can see, I already have one side done, and we're just going to be doing a row of single crochet all the way down. So when we're here, we're going to insert our hook into this top corner, make a slip knot, insert our yarn onto our hook, chain up 1 to secure. And then since these are all side double crochets, we're going to be putting 2 single crochets into each of these side double crochets all the way until we get to the bottom, but we aren't going to cut and tie yet because we're going to do the back strap. So once we do our border of single crochet, we do need to connect it to this baseline that we have because we're going to work on the back strap. And we could cut and tie and then reattach, but I figured that this is just the easiest way to do it because I hate cutting and tying, weaving, and all those ends. So I'm going to eliminate that altogether. And so from here, this is just going to be an eyeball thing. So you're just going to do your single crochets all the way down, and then into this base row is what we're going to call it. There's going to be a double crochet that you can just kind of go into, and it doesn't need to be a specific one. We're going to pick this guy right here, insert our hook, and then we're going to do 2 single crochet just to secure it into that one double crochet. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and make a chain that can actually wrap around and reach the other side of this back portion. And mine's going to be a little bit longer. I'm going to do a chain of 25 inches. And then once we have our chain of 25 inches, we're just going to weave it into the back. So from here, we're going to take our needle or our hook. I'm using a tapestry needle at the moment. And from here, I'm going to be weaving out of each 3 double crochet into this base row that I have. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, bring it up under 3, and keep doing that until we get to the middle. I've already done this side, as you guys can see. And then this is going to be similar to the other dress that I have, the bodycon dress with the hood. I will link that in the description as well. But this is definitely going to be loose when you put it on, since this does fit over the widest part of our hips. And we're going to need a cinch in the back just so you can't, so you can't see all your goodies. But how we're going to do that is we're just going to weave this in, and then this is going to count as a tie. And then if you guys are worried about there being a bow in the back, you guys can always end off with weaving this on the inside and then tie your bow, but then leave this on the inside so that you don't see it. But from here, we're just going to keep weaving in and out of each 3rd double crochet all the way down. And then once we have that back strap done, I flip my work over, and now we're going to be working on the strappy neck, back strap, whatever you want to call it. But from here, we're just going to insert our hook into this corner, grab our yarn, make a slip knot, insert that onto our hook, and then we're just going to make a chain that can, weave in and out of however many of these loops that you want. And I'm just going to make a chain of 65 inches. And then when we're done doing our back strap, that is actually the last thing that we have to do other than weaving in all of these ends. And this is our dress when we're done weaving in those ends. You guys have no idea how excited I am for this dress. It was a request that I got on Instagram, that's at TCDDIY, and I immediately fell in love with the picture that was sent, but I knew that I wanted to add a little something extra to it, and that's where all the shells came in. I'm so happy with how this turned out, and I hope y'all enjoy it too. And if you like this piece and any other piece on the channel, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. It's right beneath the video. It lets YouTube and I know you're enjoying the videos, and it goes a long way to helping the channel grow and gain traction. But if you didn't like it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs down and leave a comment letting me know why you didn't like it. Or if you have requests, comments, or if you just want to say hi, I usually reply pretty quick. And if you love it, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It's right beneath the video. It'll let you know when a new video is uploaded to the channel, get a bit more priority for requests, and it goes a long way to helping the channel grow so I can keep making great videos for you guys. Links to the yarn and hooks will be in the description if you guys buy something that also goes to helping out the channel. Lastly, my Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest links are all down there too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.